Right, because I've trialled and error with everything I've done. Obviously this is about the compost side of it, but this is from, this will be the best YouTube post I've put on, because this is from the scratch, the start up until now. So it's covering everything and you will learn from it, along with a book at the end. 2 ways of compost. You can use heat or you can use worms. I've learned to work with nature, meaning I use worms. They also do my digging. That's common sense to me. Worms turn your compost. That's why they were invented. With us turning, it disturbs the compost food web. It has to start breaking down again. That's if you use heat. It's in the middle of cooking, so you've got to turn it. Right, my first 3 bays, I had an allotment straight opposite the house, but this is when I moved down to Abbey Road allotments. Wooden pallets, they're either free or cheap. Straight onto the ground, the slabs are for me working on. 3 bays, leaf mould, compost, osmuck. These were lined with horticultural plastic, a couple of holes in. You still get air in, but you got to keep the warmth in there. I want to make it as quick as I can, because I'm using compost 100% as a growing medium. This is what I started off with, my 3 bays. First thing I did when I moved down the allotment. But this I started off as the lasagna method. So I've just, as you can see on there, I've just put a layer of greens which I've chopped up, meaning the smaller the ingredient, the quicker the breakdown process. I learned that from very quickly, which is common sense really, if you think about it. So probably on top of that one I'll put a layer of leaf mould, bit of carbon, shredded newspaper, and muck. You've got to have your osmuck, whatever muck you put on is your worm input. I filled these 2 bays up because I had a big load dropped off horse manure for £8, couldn't turn it down. You might think it's moist, but give it a good watering. You can't overwater, you've got the drainage. On the right hand side I used to use carpet then to keep the moisture and the warmth in. Obviously it's porous, so if it does rain it goes straight through, but that's me just doing a moisture check. If you're an eco warrior, don't like using carpet, then use an old blanket or a bath towel. Them are good. I've used them, white cotton bath towels. Even anything. That's me doing a moisture check, just having a nose. Right, I can see a worm, so I know I'm happy. If I couldn't see one, it'd be drying out. It was going to go deeper, obviously, to find moisture. So keep it moist, and they will rapidly go through that and multiply. That's why it's ready. Well, that was ready in less than a month. That's just manure. And then they invented these. The government give all councils a wad of money to get people composting. 330 litre Blackwall bin on the left, 220 litre on the right. 3 per household. Fair the day one is, so I had his as well. So I got 6 330 litre. Don't forget this was from when I was on the allotment. I had 1.5 plots down there, so I needed them. Obviously if you just got one at my household, you only need 1 bin. Well, I come on to Dudley Council, as you can see top left, but if you're on the internet, just put get composting and that'll ask you for your postcode to see which council you come under. Then they'll give you the price, because the government's given all councils another wad of money to get people composting again. They do it about every 2 or 3 years. And this is how I can now get compost ready to use within a month. Right, as you can see on the left, the carpet around my bin, meaning that was on for over winter, so I'm just taking the carpets off, because in the middle is my blackcurrant that's just coming into leaf, so this is early spring. So I'm taking the carpets off, ready for the spring. Put carpet round because I want to compost 12 months of the year. I'm not going to break down so much, but I still want it. When I started doing leaf mould, you've got to wet every leaf that goes in, otherwise it'll stay crisp. This crap about make a pen out of chicken wire and just throw your leaves in, what a load. Bloody wind's going to dry it out. You've got to wet every leaf and then look after it. What I do now is put a bit of carpet on the top of my leaf mould. Then I haven't got that cold void gap between the top of the leaf mould and the lid, because there's never any activity on the top of the leaf mould. There is now, because when I take that carpet off, you can see the bacteria. It's bacteria and fungi that break down leaves, but you still get worms in, as you can see there. But that's I do me leaf mould for one of my compost ingredients, which we'll come on to later. But leaf mould is free. Use it, natural product. All my ingredients in my compost are natural, meaning they're all going to break down, and the majority of them are free. Right, get up the allotment. Too much stress, because I was bloody chairman doing most things. Well, I'll be kept active anyway. The only place I could put a compost bin up the back of the garden, Mrs. gives me the back garden, was in between my trellis and my greenhouse. I put 2 large slabs down and put my compost bin on there. I only need 1 bin. That proves you don't have to put your compost bin on topsoil. I'll still get that ready within a month. He's got his black coat on. That's to absorb the sun when it comes out. I'll get it early morning and afternoon. Right in the greenhouse, on the right hand side, underneath the staging, you can see me different bags of ingredients. This is for making me compost. Everything else, I utilise it as a normal greenhouse. But all these bags, the ingredients are dry, meaning they're not going to rot or get wet and smelly and all that gumph. Right, these lot I've kept out. If I bite into one of them, lemon, orange, onion, I'm going to pull a face. What's a worm going to do? Exactly the same. I'll break down, but I want to look after my berries. Right, in my bucket I've just chopped up kitchen and garden waste, which head shears from Lidl, £8.99, or £7.99, sorry. Now I'm adding a fistful of everything else. So that one I've picked up there, that is still a bit moist. It's the only one because it's a new leaf mould and it's got a few worms in. So I'll just put the lid on that one over all the rest of them open. So leaf moulds are good one. The next one is oss manure. Different stables use different bedding. Some use straw. So even getting 2 different bags of horse manure is good, because you've got different bedding in it. But I like all my manures. Every manure's got something which other manures don't have. I've learned that at all. Just you got to use a manure. This is dried leaf mould, which is old leaf mould. Most of these are rubbed out as well, like that one is there. That's wood shavings. Make sure they're clean, i.e. they ain't been timber ain't been creosoted or nothing before they shave off. But that's another good natural product, obviously. Dried, rubbed out chicken muck. I don't know lumps in. I'm helping the worms out, so I rub everything out before it goes into the bin. So these are already in my bags, which are under the staging. This is rubbed out goat muck. I found a goat herder in the middle of Alzo in Lover. Well, I love the goat muck. That's rubbed out as well, dried. I'm going to love this. Right, the only bag I've run out of is seaweed. Anything that's seaweed based, love it. My last lot was from Breen, because we live in the Midlands. Got no bloody seaside. Luckily we had our reunion a couple of Sundays ago. It was down Weymouth. 66, I joined HMS Ganges. And this is a reunion from our lot at the training school. This was on a Sunday morning, so while I was still sober, went and got me a bag of seaweed. Beautiful stuff. We have a reunion now every 6 months because we're bloody dying off. But we can still have a good sesh. But that seaweed there is one of the best ones I've got. Obviously, I brought it back home. So I'm going to dry it out You can throw that on. You can throw it on your allotment garden, whatever, as it is now. But I want it as small as I can get it. So to get it small, I've got to dry it out, and that's what I'm doing there. It's surprising how quick it does dry out. But this lot was one of the best I've ever had. Different beaches, different seaweeds. So if you get the chance, get them from everywhere. Look at these. Look at the size of that kelp and the different seaweeds in there. Beautiful stuff. Love it. So once it is dry, then we're getting to the next stage for it, chopping it up. Don't forget, I want this nice and brittle and nice and small. Right, it's gone crisp, so I'll get my bucket and my extendable edge shears, me not chop up without bending. But superb. Just chop the chap up. Still too big for me, so it goes in the shredder twice. Bungary once, still more. Look at that, beautiful. I could swim in it. Now I can just put a fistful in and not a big dollop. Superb stuff. Seaweed meal's a good seller down our trading sheds and all. That's a good brew. But if there's too much hassle getting seaweed, or you can't get it, like me, you live in the Midlands, just cheat, go to Holland and Barrett and get sea kelp tablets, just crush half a tablet up. Obviously you get one when you let them flogging another one off for a penny a tub. Right, this one's alpaca muck. Look, I've got an alpaca herder, it's only 10 minutes away. They flog them a quid a bag just to get rid of them, but they store them dry, meaning there's no smell, weight in them or nothing. And you put them on the passenger side to come home, and the missus now. But that's beautiful stuff. There's no strength in it, you can use it straight away. This one is rock dust, volcanic basalt rock dust. This is from the centre of the earth, so has trace elements and minerals which we don't have up top. Let's get this by the ton. I started getting this about 25 years ago. Anything new that comes out of the garden, I trial it, and if it works, then I buy it. But to run trading sheds, you have to buy bulk, and I used to get this in a ton. I must have had 7 ton off them by now. Veolia, it's under ProGrow, the rock dust now, and there's quite a few nurseries flogging this. So all you got to do is Google ProGrow rock dust. It'll give you your nearest supplier where you can get them from. If you live in the sticks, go get them. You can still get it online, but it's superb stuff. And the grains now are small as well, so you can use it indoors. So just a pinch, finger and thumb, put it on your house plants. That's over 20 years ago, so that was one of the probably third bag. So you see there, we get it by the ton. But it's a good seller. Well, it's got to be a good seller because I'm coming back for it. But you've got to buy bulk if you run trading sheds. We've got 3 metal containers now, and they're more chocker. But it's worth doing. That was my last bag I had. This was half a ton. This was the new grade, the smaller grade of the granules, which is even better. Because when I had my raised beds on the allotment, I had a top dressing once a year. But now I'd do the back garden, all my raised beds back of the garden, but we'll come on to that later on. But it's good stuff, and there we were just transferring it from that bag to those. Right, these two, Lucy and Jen, they come down. That's my back garden. They come down earlier on in the year, and that was pavement, the half a ton of rock dust. But they were just putting a bit of film together, and they was advertising the rock dust there, and the tubes of rock dust you can see in front of Jen, who's on the left, Lucy on the Jen's on the right, Lucy's on the left. But they bought their other composting and all the growing mediums they do as well, and I try them. Not too bad at all. This is the what the council do, local council, when you recycling bin. Used to flog this at £2 a bag. It was crap. Before the cutbacks, I used to be chairman of Dudley Horticultural Advisory Council. We used to have a quarterly meeting and one rep off each allotment, and we'd sort out any gumph. But we had a trip to a recycling depot, which ours was in Wolverhampton. We went round at the end and says, any questions? I says, yeah, how can you get away with calling it compost when it's not compost? It's crap. Anyway, I fell out of me, got the gaffer, he fell out of me. When I got back home along Dudley Council, told them it was crap. They fell out of me. This top, halfway down on the left, Soil Association emblem. I've worked with them before. Rang them up. I says, how come you've given me your stamp? And says the government have told them anything to do with recycling, give me a stamp. You haven't even got to look at it. What a load. Right, topsoil. People forget to put topsoil in the bin. One little pinch. You've got millions of good little chaps. Use it. One of the best topsoils you can get, and it's free. Obviously you've got to stop and get it yourself. Mole hills. If there's moles in there, it's good soil because it's been full of worms. Well, it was, but it's bloody nicked them all now. But the moles riddled it for you. It's took all the lumps out. Collect it. Superb stuff. If I'm doing a talk anywhere on the afternoon, I always Google the place and zoom in, see if there's any mole hills here. Right, next one. This is donkey muck. Found somebody with a donkey. Everybody's got manure, they've got to get rid of it. I says, well, I'll throw that away for you, meaning I can use it myself. Don't forget, every manure has got something in, or the manures ain't. This is more wood shavings. This is a different source with this sawdust. Same thing, just get it in there, natural product or wood shavings. Grow bags I've used this year. These were for me chilies. You might use them for tomatoes or cucumber. So it's spent peat basically. So I've took all the gumph out and rubbed that out loose as well. This next one is dried tea leaves and dried coffee grounds. Both them in tea bags. So I've dried them out and then rubbed them out by hand. Then mixed them both together. Both natural products, both good activators for the compost heap. And all your manures are activators. You're surprised how many ingredients are activators. This is wood burn ash. Obviously it's got to be clean. Make sure the timber that's going in hasn't been treated. But that's a good one in the sense if you get too many potworms in your compost, it'll sort them out. This one's spent tops from a brewery. When you do pick it up, they're always wet obviously because they've just bloody made a brew. So I'll dry them out. This is the tunnel, top of the garden. At the back I've got my giant Cape gooseberry. In front of that I've got a tray out with the spent tops on drying, because I want to put them obviously away dry in a bag. As you see there, once the top's dry, then I turn it over and dry it that way, and these will be rubbed out by hand as well. But see in the background, Cape gooseberry, I'm trying to overwinter that. Even if it's just straw, use it, because it's a natural product. When you get manure, and if it's stable manure, they use a straw to soak up the urine. Right, the bag on in the middle is me tea leaves and coffee grounds. The bag on the right of those two is opened up. It's enclosed because I want to keep it keep the moisture out of it. So that's opening it up. And there's a bag which is tied up there. This is from Lidl. So I've opened that one up, which is top right. There's a little one underneath, and then on the left of it, there's another bag. So a fistful of each one of them will go into my bucket, along with me other ingredients, all natural products, all helpful in the breakdown process for me compost. Right, porridge oats. I'm in touch with people all over the world, and this was from a bloke in Australia. How the hell did he find out worms love porridge? And they do. They devour it. Just get the Chapman from Lidl. This is a carbon input. Shredded kitchen rolls. Nothing coloured, nothing glossy. Egg boxes. I'll rip them up at night watching the box. And then my shredded paper. I've tried all the paper, and the best one you can get is paperback books. The missus used to do a load of reading. I don't read so much now. I make wine out of everything. I drink me rum. Missus likes a vodka. I exhibit the wines to our show, but we don't drink it. But they come in as bribes, like this one. Local charity shop. And I bribe the wenches in there, give them a bottle of wine, and ask them to save me the paperback books, but on old ones. I said, just find the old ones out, look for the brown pages, then you know them old. If you can get an old paperback book like that, open it up, it tells you compost me. This last one is crushed, washed, dried, microwaved eggshells. That means I crush up crushed layers, chicken pellets, and these go through the blender. I'll get a blender from Lidl. They bung them out about every 3 months. I'm only 20 quid. But now the worms can chew that. Right, this lot is mixed up in my bucket. If you got a load, if you're still on allotment or something, you do load them, just put it in an empty compost bag and upend it several times. That's what I used to do. Stuff I ain't got at the moment. I used to have a contact for spent mushroom compost. I lost him, but you can get anything. Just put it on the internet. Toss up between eBay and Amazon. You should get I had a wood chip. Any big lumps, take them out. Worm cast, I used to get that by the ton as well for our training shares. That's a good one. Right, that's all mixed up. Mixing it up, you're helping the worms out. They haven't got to look for it. All I've got to do is open the mouth and start eating. All you got to do is keep them nice and warm, nice and moist, and they will rapidly go through everything. I don't put any weeds in. We used to get grass on our allotment site, and they got spores of rust. If you grow leeks and onions, one thing you don't want rust. So just in case, I don't put weeds in. Right, that's taken to my bin. So my bin's all ready. As I mentioned, it's covered in black, meaning if the sun does come out, the black absorbs the heat and the sun when it is out. If you was on I had this down the allotment, so if you are on the soil, what eats worms, bloody mole, sorry to go down Wilco, buy some galvanised chicken wire, put it on the bottom. Why didn't the government step in and save Wilco? Right, consider running underneath. All he's got to do now is align his back with his mouth open. The worms will drop through. So what I used to do is put a 2 foot of straw on. But now I got that problem. Right, lid off. Throwing down worms because we had a -2 last night. Meaning they're going to go underneath. There's a couple of worms there. I'm taking the first layer off. There's 3 layers of carpet on, or whatever you want to use. And in the summer, if you keep them moist, that's where you get your extra worms from. You ain't going to buy any in. But as I say, it was -2 last night. So that last one I took off, that was an old white bath towel, cotton. And it takes a month to eat that towel. So I've just collected the last carpet off, so that's the 3rd one. And from adding 2 days ago, you can see the worms on the top of there. I'm active already. So I'm going to add my extra dollop, because we had a good stew, so I've got loads of scraps from that, plus my ingredients under me stage as well. Right, because it's all dry, you've got to get a good watering. They ain't going to come up and start yomping if it's dry. They bloody soft. So if you wait it for them, That's their grub, don't forget, look after them if you need something bigger. Right, all the worms are collected out those three top bit of carpets, whatever. I now shake them worms onto the top of the surface of that. Give that a good soaking as well. And the lids when they. So there's the towel, what the bath towel, what they've been eating. That's going to last about another 2 weeks. You've got to keep these carpets moist. Then you'll get your layers of worms in between the carpets. Just look after them. Don't forget you can't overwater drainage. So that's weighted as well. This is rainwater, which has got a bit of maxi crop in it. The last carpet goes off. As you can see, that's drying out slightly. But I didn't want it to bloody freeze up. Just look after them. We ain't got a frost now for a couple of days, so I'm going to give them a good watering. I'm going to get my worms back again. But you still get the breakdown over winter, but all the worms would be in the middle, up the top or in the middle, away from the sides. Bit of Hessian bag I found, so I'll put that on as well, give that a soak in. Right, this was taken a week ago before the first frost, so that's what you get when you lift your last carpet up. Don't forget that is their food in there. All you got to do is look after them, i.e. keep them moist and keep them warm. And warm because we've got 3 layers on top of them. Just look after the chaps. And that was a month ago when we still got decent weather before the first frost. So it's got this white to absorb the sun and to repel the sun. Because I don't want to cook in the summer. Right, if you make good compost, you can make compost tea. The Americans have been doing this for yonks. We're behind everybody with everything, and that's what I do, make compost tea with mine. Trying to get our farmers to do it and sting out of police. The Soil Association did the first compost tea seminar about 12 years ago. Went to Sting's place, his farm managers started using compost tea, trying it, and it worked. So the Soil Association started up a soil seminar, compost tea seminar, got all the farmers, get them free entry to it, just trying to get them to use it. And next year they went somewhere up north or whatever. Just trying to get our farmers to do it. Great British Village show, because I used my compost tea on a leak, or a couple of leaks I was doing, and I entered this was the Midlands branch, Calc Abbey. I'm going to do a video on this as well, but a separate one. And I won the eat with that leak. I weren't in the National Veg Society then, but a load of them were, and I upset them because I beat them. Some of them they like it. Right, the National Veg Society, because I was in the Midland branch, they was impressed with me composting methods. They put it on DVD. And we was flogging that. Right, trial and error with everything. So these 2 seedlings, which I took out, pot leeks obviously, the one on the left was grown in clover compost. Very good compost. I still have that for our trading sheds. The one on the right is my compost. That's after 3 weeks, because there's still big lumps in it. If I wear to the one on the right, left, go straight through, water mine, hangs onto it. That's the clover compost. Nice, white, thick roots. That tells me it's good compost. Well, I know it's good compost in bloody clover. That's why I have it. But upending mine, comparing, that's all I was doing. Seeing if mine was on par with him. Whiter, thicker roots. I'm going to say I'm better than him, but I'm up with him. So if clover's one of the best and I'm up there as well, then excellent. I know I can do it. Well, I knew I can do it anyway. So I can see it in my plants, but I need it in writing. Laverstow Park Labs, this is down Hampshire. I rang them up. There's 3 lab technicians. I says, right, I'm sending me sample of compost. I want you to trial it. I'm sending me DVD. I want you to watch that and tell me what I've got to take out or add to make a better compost. And I think 10 days after, I got this back. Bacterial activity, excellent. Fungal activity, excellent. Fungal biomass, exceptional. Bottom right, this compost is excellent. That's what I wanted. I knew it, but now I've got it in writing. So now I can tell the local council, well, that fell out of me anyway, and the government mainly. So they can get all the councils to do it. If I can do it, they can do it. I had no reply whatsoever. Because they get paid to look for alternative, and all the alternatives are crap. Kids taught me into doing a book. I couldn't afford a publisher, so I did it through Amazon. I've kept the price down, 12 quid, but 87 colour pages, you get a good deal with it. And everything's in there. When I do my talks, I'm flogging these as well. I wanted this on the back page, but they wouldn't put it on, obviously, because they was the publishers. This book contains no needlessly big words, no waffle, no confusing Latin names, no bullshit. They wouldn't let me put shit on. All I would have liked to have trialed the bullshit. That's one I ain't found, a bull. Right, Caslon Primary School Gardening Club. Mrs. been involved at the school for yonks. Started off as a nursery nurse, left as an adult link worker. I had 2 lads was there, so I did football, then chair, PTFA, Caslon Primary School. When I was on the allotment, I had all raised beds, 26 foot long, 4 foot wide. Each class had a raised bed. Each kid had 2 foot by 4 foot piece of ground. They can grow what they want to grow. Health and Safety PC Brigade stopped the kids coming down, so I did a full allotment on the school ground. Yeah, you can see it in the back of this photo. 50 pence every Tuesday afternoon for a kid, hour and a half. Because I was that bloody hyper, I couldn't control them. So I started about collecting molehills. By the time they come back with the second bucket, they was knackered. I could sort them out then, but they loved it. Edam got them exhibiting down Morven and all the shows around our place. If I go to do a talk at a show or something, I'd take these, well, I'd take whatever's growing, just to say these is my compost 100%. This is the spring show Morven. We was trying to get kids involved, so we did seedlings of peppers, chili or sweet, and tomato plants, plastic drinking cups compost, and I just grabbed kids who was walking past. Do you want a free plant? If you don't know what to do, I'll show you. But the first 4 kids I grabbed, the mother says he ain't getting his hands in that dirt. I said it's not dirt, it's compost, because the mothers ain't had no gardening. They ain't got a clue. The kids ain't got a clue, and we're losing them. We're losing gardeners. Gardening should have come on the school's national curriculum 2014 along with cooking. Cooking started up Caslon Primary School, lasted 6 months. Health and Safety stopped it. Gardening only took place because I did it voluntary. I think it's for 11, 12 years. But they loved it, I loved it. But we're running out of gardeners. We're going to shoot, well, we have shot ourselves in the foot. I've lost 8 gardening clubs this year through folding. The old ones finished on the committee and there's nobody to take over. In fact, my next talk, they've got it on the afternoon because the old ones don't like going out at night in the dark. That's my new allotment back garden. I get everything on there, and I'm still growing most of the stuff what I was growing down there. Love me fruit, love me canners, as you can see on there, but I've still got a tunnel and all that crap. I get talks all over the UK, compost, raised beds, no cultivation, year on the plot, there's loads of them. But anybody got any questions, or if you want to talk, only 50 quid a talk, plus fuel. Over 2 hours away, I for B&B. But that's it, people. Hope you've enjoyed it. And I've done all the trials. learn from my trial and errors. If I do it because it works. Cheers peeps, top.